was very nice as well of Everyman Salisbury to actually screen this film in 4D. They turned the temperature down to -7 in screen 1 just to make you feel it. We're going to move on now to a film that came out last Friday. Again, we're back in Oscar territory here. Most of the big films coming out have some chance of award success at the moment. And that is The Holdovers. Andy, can you introduce the clip for us?
Last week, I briefly introduced this and I gave it 10 out of 10. The Christmas film that wasn't and should have been and will be. Here's a clip.
Sir, I don't understand.
That's glaringly apparent.
I can't fail this class.
Oh, don't sell yourself short, Mr. Coates. I truly believe that you can.
Every year at Barton Academy, students, faculty, and staff depart the campus for a 2-week winter break. But there are always an unfortunate few who have nowhere to go for the holidays. They're known as the Holdovers.
Don't you just miss those old 70s trailers with the voiceovers?
Absolutely.
Paul Newman and Steve McQueen risk death in the towering inferno. Yeah, wonderful. Andy, you want to carry on talking about the Holdovers?
I mean, the trailer there summed up what the plot is all about. We saw that 4 students originally are held over in the school for the Christmas holiday. 4 of them managed to, 5 students originally, 4 of them managed to escape, leaving 3 central characters left in the boarding school. So we have Paul Giamatti as the grumpy old, much disliked teacher. We have Divine Joy Randolph and Dominic Sessa. And as we know, Paul Giamatti and Divine Joy Randolph have already got awards at the Golden Globes. Rightly so, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. This is an excellent film. This made me feel like I was back in the 70s. It reminded me very much in the way it's shot of The Graduate, and it's the soundtrack has very much a Simon and Garfunkel vibe. I've been listening to the soundtrack on rotate all week because I think the soundtrack is absolutely superb. Some great songs accompanying the film. There's some real wonderful moments I didn't expect. Moments when they escape from the grounds of the school and go off to a Christmas Eve party. They go off to visit Boston and have a look at the historical sites. There were moments like that I didn't expect. I thought it had a touch of Dead Poets Society about it. Mm-hmm. Early on, there was a touch of The Breakfast Club about it. But what is so great, as that trailer illustrates, even in a very limited way, is that David Hemingson's script is so sharp and so witty, and this is a film that will bear repeat viewings because you want to get every single line. You won't want to miss a line. You know, I can't fail this class. Oh, don't sell yourself short. I mean, that is absolutely genius. And I thought that the whole scene was. I really enjoyed it. It's definitely going to become a Christmas tradition. It's a film that I've already slated to say I'm going to watch this every Christmas. Mm-hmm. But people have said to me, I'm not going to go and see it because it's a Christmas movie. No, go see it. Go see it when it's in cinemas. Go see it on the big screen. There's some beautiful vistas. The performances are terrific. The soundtrack is great. Don't wait for next Christmas to see this. Go and see this now. You won't regret it. It is an absolute massive hit, and I gave it 10 out of 10.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great. Okay. Dan, you've seen The Holdovers, I think?
Yeah, I've seen it as well. I thought it was great. I didn't love it because I feel like around Oscar season you always get this type of dramedy type film, you know, a bunch of people coming together under odd circumstances, and which I like those kind of films, but it hasn't been it isn't, you know, it's not completely original, as you say. Dead Poets Society, there's a bit of Capra in there as well. I think there's definitely a sense of Capra, and there's also a bit of Wes Anderson in there as well for me, just a little bit. And I was thinking of Rushmore, which is one of my favourite Wes Anderson films. And
that's a good.
And then it plays the song "The Wind" by Cat Stevens, which is in the soundtrack to Rushmore. So I was like, oh, okay, so maybe Alexander Payne knows as well.
Maybe it's deliberate. Yeah.
Maybe. I think, talking of Alexander Payne, he directed one of my favourite films from a few years ago, which was Nebraska, starring Bruce Dern, which was in black and white. And watching The Holdovers, I thought, as much as I loved the cinematography and the vistas, that I think it would have been really effective in black and white. That kind of film. But I really liked it. I mean, I used to go to boarding school. So I used to sing in a cathedral choir. So I used to have to be staying over during the Christmas period. So it, it kind of rang a few familiar bells for me. But no, I thought it was great. Paul Giamatti's fantastic, and I think in any other year, if he wasn't up against Cillian Murphy, I think he'd be dusting off his award shelf for an Oscar.
Yeah, I've written exactly the same thing.
Yeah, it's a real shame because I love Paul Giamatti, and when he worked with Alexander Payne in Sideways, that's arguably his best performance, up until the Holdovers. I don't know how they did the lazy eye effects. They're not revealing that. I don't know if it was a prosthetic eye or if it's a computer-generated eye.
They didn't say. No, they won't tell you.
No, but it's you forget about it very quickly. It just becomes part of the the skewed character that Paul Giamatti's playing. I really enjoyed it. I think the performances throughout are great. I love the sense of, as Andy says, it feels like a film that's been pulled right out of the 70s. Hal Ashby is old. I think, Harold and Maude, there's definitely a bit of that in there. The Last Detail as well, I was thinking of, especially with the trip to Boston, with them going on that trip that they're not really supposed to be going on, but they've got to break away from the prison that they've that they're sort of trapped in. I've really enjoyed it. Not my favourite film of the year, and it's not my favourite film of the award season, but I can see why it's getting a lot of love and why many people are calling it one of the best films of the year.
I mean, I think, as I say, for me, it was the script above and beyond any. I loved everything about it, but those witty one-liners that are just there. And they kind of float in the air for a second, and then you move on. Well, I saw it at a packed press screening at the Picture House in Piccadilly. I was sat next to the girl who buys movies for Sky Movies, and it's one of the few press screenings I have been to where there was a round of applause at the end.
Nice.
That doesn't often, in fact, in my experience of 3 or 4 years now, regularly going to press screenings, probably once, 2 or 3 a month, that has never happened before. Yeah. So it was that was an interesting that the critics gave it that round of applause.
Yeah. It's got the best insult of the year. I don't think.
Oh, definitely got the best insult. Absolutely. I might.
This might be the insult that I'm knocked a half point off for.
Oh, really?
Well, I doubt I will be able to use it in my circles, but as somebody who is used to working at Christmas for obvious reasons. I did identify with the characters as well, Dan. Yeah.
No, I think it was great. I think it was really great.
Scott, you've seen the Holdovers as well?
I have, and I have to echo what the other guys have said. It was a really funny movie. I thought the performances across the board were really good. I liked Dominic Sessa, who this is his first feature.
First feature film. That's a hell of a debut, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not sure how old he is, but as a sort of up-and-comer, he'll be one to look out for after this. I was sort of saying in our WhatsApp group, just after we saw the Holdovers screening, that I was tempted to put a prediction for him for supporting actor at the Oscars. I didn't, and it didn't happen for him, but I don't think he would have been far outside in the voting from that top 5.
According to Wikipedia, he was born in 2002/2003.
Oh my God!
So take your pick. So he's either 21 or 22. Good on Wikipedia. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. So Divine Joy Randolph is an interesting one because she has been picking up all the awards so far that she's been up for, and by all expectations, she's going to sweep the entire awards season. I'm not sure if I quite agree with that. I thought she was really good, but considering some of the other contenders for supporting actress, I'm surprised, actually, that it's such a sweeper from her, because I don't think she's that much better than a lot of the other supporting actresses around her. However, not to take anything away from her, she was fantastic in the film, and I'm very curious how this will boost her career going forward, because I don't really think I've seen her in much. There was it Lost City where she plays the PA for Sandra Bullock,
might be.
She plays a PA for someone. I think it was in the Lost City.
I think you're right.
And when I looked up, that was the only thing that I think I've seen her in before.
She was in United States versus Billie Holiday.
Oh, right.
Which is a film that I really enjoyed.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was an interesting one. So the Holdovers...
She actually didn't have an awful lot of lines did she? But she did an awful lot of acting with her body, and she could get an amazing amount of emotion into the odd grunt.
I think it was the kitchen scene. I think that's the one that's going to clinch the Oscar.
Yeah.
I think
it was a subtle performance, but quite an interesting one.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I still would have liked to have seen Rosamund Pike in there. I think she would have been.
I'm with you there. I'm with you there.
If she got in,
we'll be on to the Oscars later.
Yes, we'll talk about that in more detail later. I think that this is one of those films that, as the guys have said, it will become a Christmas classic, and I am going to be very curious to watch it again. Dan's idea about being in black and white does make me feel very interested, because I think that could work. I haven't even considered something like that, but yeah, it's one of those that was a good feel-good film. Not for everyone. I think there's some jokes that might be a little bit too much for some people that might expect something more family-friendly, but on the whole, I had a really good time with this, and I can see why it's been very popular.
Yep.
Sorry, Bob. I just said, didn't they re-release Parasite in black and white, and also one of the Mad Max films?
Mad Max Fury Road.
I saw Parasite as well.
And they're
so it might be worth suggesting. Yeah, might be worth suggesting, Dan.
And they're re-releasing Godzilla -1 minus color as well.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay,
that's it. Yeah, this will be a good one to try. It could be another. It's a Wonderful Life at Christmas time. Yeah, I agree with everything you said, so I won't repeat that. It was also great to see Carrie Preston in that small role of the secretary come barmaid. I spent the whole film wondering, where the hell have I seen her? And she plays the ditzy lawyer in the TV series The Good Wife and The Good Fight, for any people who watched that series and loved it as we did. I thought the direction was really pacey, and I mean, interestingly, it's virtually the same length as The Colour Purple, but I didn't once get bored or fidgety during this film, and I did during The Colour Purple. And I loved the 70s styling at the beginning, the fact that they showed the BBFC certification card, AA certificate, and then we had the old 70s Universal logo, and the old logos from, what was it, Screen Gems and Miramax. I thought that was
as well,
really good, with lots of scrapey old scratches on the film. I thought that was terrific. I gave this one a 9 out of 10. And the reason I didn't give it a 10 out of 10, because I absolutely loved it, was the joke about cancer at the end. And I did the same thing for, I always forget the name of this thing, with Ryan Reynolds, something Guy. Free Guy. Free Guy, where Taika Waititi comes out with that terrible ad-lib about cancer in the middle of the film. Put me right off the film. Cancer is not funny in a comedy film.
Agreed.
It is not. And
I agree.
For me, it was a great put down. It was a great line. In a drama series, it would have worked, but here, comedy, no, thank you very much. So I knocked the point off for that. So I gave it a 9 out of 10 in the end. It was very nice as well of Everyman Salisbury to actually screen this film in 4D, because with all the wonderful snow and ice on the ground in the film, they turned the temperature down to -7 in the Screen 1 auditorium, just to make you feel it. And so they did a great job there. Scores out of 10, Scott?
This is another 8 out of 10 for me.
Okay, 9 and an 8. And Andy?
I was going 10, but on reflection, Bob, about what you say, you have persuaded me to drop a point, and I'm going 9.
We're the anti-cancer club, yeah.
Yeah,
and,
you just made me think. And 9.
I'm an 8 as well.
You're an 8. That's 9 and 9 and 8 and 8. And Emma will very quickly tell me that's easy maths, and that is a Flickering Dreams score of 8.5, making the Holdovers a big hit. Good.